Not all historical cult movements are doomsday cults per se, but outlandish beliefs have led their adherents to come to grief. One such figure was the explorer Percy Fawcett, who believed in the esoteric tenets of the Theosophy movement. Theosophy was co-founded by the mystic Helena Blavatsky in 1875. It fused beliefs from a number of religious and philosophical tracts, including Kabbalah, Sufism and Buddhism, as well as Neoplatonism and other philosophical traditions. But one of the shibboleths of the movement was a belief in ancient lost cities. Percy Fawcett got lost in dense jungle looking for one of these so-called civilizations in Mato Grosso, Brazil in 1925. The theoretical city was known as Zed, and the hunt for the site most likely led to the deaths of Fawcett, his son and his son's friend, who all disappeared in the jungle, never to be seen again. However, the mystery persists, and in March 2004, the Observer newspaper reported that television director Misha Williams, who had studied Fawcett's private papers, believed that he had not intended to return to Britain, but rather to found a commune in the jungle, based on the principles of Theosophy and the worship of his son Jack. The fate of Fawcett's party remains unknown to this day. Well-heeled men at the heart and height of the British Empire were often involved in cultist activities in the 1800s, with London often a focal point of strange and potentially murderous rites. Bram Stoker, author of Dracula, and Sherlock Holmes writer Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, along with a host of other leading literary lights, were rumoured members of, or had connections to, a secret society offshoot of the Freemasons, which formed in 1887. The organisation, called the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, was a magical order concerned with metaphysics, alchemy, the paranormal, geomancy and occultism. The order's first permanent meeting place, the Isis Urania Temple in Kensington, London, opened in the spring of 1888, just months before the infamous Jack the Ripper or Whitechapel murders began. The murders have been suggested to have been ritualised killings inspired by a Masonic conspiracy by some writers in recent years. The killings could also have been part of an art world conspiracy, with post-impressionist painter Walter Sickert being suggested as being Jack the Ripper by some authors. My own book, The Inevitable Jack the Ripper, dives more deeply into this suggestion. The current site of the Isis Urania Temple is now an average cafe close to the Olympia Exhibition Centre, which belies nothing of its otherworldly past. Ultimately, a schism emerged in the order, with one faction gravitating around the notorious occultist Aleister Crowley. What this illustrates is that this was very much an era of the secret society, of conspirators and cults. It was an age where the wealthy and influential formed clubs and even pseudo-religious orders and carried out strange rites. Slightly earlier, an organisation existed called the Hellfire Club, which held lavish and depraved rituals in a man-made cave complex in the Chiltern Hills of West Wickham, Buckinghamshire. Members used prostitutes they referred to as nuns and dined on fine foods in large banquets held in the inner sanctum of the cavernous chalk construction. The organisation was founded by Sir Francis Dashwood, 11th Baron Le Despencer, and included members such as Beer Street and Gin Lane artist William Hogarth, John Wilkes, John Montague and others. The gatherings were said to have involved immoral acts and rumoured to have involved satanic black masses. The club motto was Fais ce que tu voudrais, which translates to Do What Thou Wilt. The motto was later adopted by the aforementioned Aleister Crowley. Dashwood's club meetings also often included strange rituals, pornographic materials and excessive drinking. During its active period up till the early 1760s, the club was known by a number of names, such as the Brotherhood of St Francis of Wickham, the Order of Knights of West Wickham, and the Order of the Friars of St Francis of Wickham. It was later dubbed the Hellfire Club, and the caves are still there as a rather odd tourist attraction called the Hellfire Caves. I visited the site in 2014 and was struck by the absurdity of the place. It had a certain magical quality, but also raised questions about the nature and intentions of those who gathered there in ultra-secret conclaves. The caves feature a number of mannequins, including one of American founding father Benjamin Franklin, who was rumoured to be a member of the club. The suggestion that Franklin, a prominent Freemason who helped to launch the American Revolution, was present raises the prospect that this effective cult could have sparked what would become one of the most significant geopolitical developments in history, the foundation of the United States. That's all for this video. Don't forget to like, share and most importantly subscribe. And thank you for watching.